So when you get your list, it's going to look something like this. You're either going to be assigned this front axle of this truck or the rear axle of the truck, and then you always get the Incab. But here at the Incab, you save that to last, because the thought is that once you're done with this, you'll just go out and drive. So then what you can do is you can kind of fold this over and kind of leave it right here. This way you can read it as you're going along. I'll try to see how long that stays there with the wind coming in the door. So this is my safety belt right here. So this is my safety belt. You'll show the examiner it's not cut, torn, or frayed. It securely latches. It also unlatches. It adjusts to you, and I'll leave it on. It's secured in 3 locations. One up here by my head, 2 down here by the door, and 3 on my right. No missing nuts or bolts, all securely mounted. Now my emergency equipment. These are my spare fuses right here. Inside this plastic box here is this red box. There are 3 reflective triangles. They're not broken or cracked at all. None are missing, and they're all the proper color, which is orange or amber. This is my fire extinguisher right here. Sometimes that fire extinguisher might be up here, but in this case it's right here. So my fire extinguisher is secured to the floor. It's not cracked or leaking. It's fully charged. The safety pin's in place, and it's proper for my load. Safe start. To do a safe start here, you leave this alone. Don't even do anything with this. Let's say that your parking brake's engaged. You go click. It's actually 2 clicks. So 1, 2. All the warning lights will come on. And let's say your truck is in neutral. I can start this truck. There we go. Now I'm started. And then so now we're going to do the temperature gauge. This is my temperature gauge right here. My temperature gauge is working and slowly rising. This is my oil pressure gauge. It has oil pressure and it's holding. This is my voltmeter gauge. It's at 14 and charging. And these are my air gauges. They're 120 and holding. So now my light indicators. This is my left indicator. I can see it. It's working. This is my right indicator. I can see it. It's working. These are my hazards. I can see them. They're working. This is my high beam indicator. High beam indicator. I can see it. It's working. So now I'm going to do my horns. I only have one. Horns work. And then heater and defrost. I just need to show the examiner that I have my heater and my defrost work. So I feel air. The defroster's working. I feel air. The heater's working. That'll make it comfortable for us. Alright, so now I'm going to do the windshield and mirrors. This is my windshield right here. My windshield is clean, clear, not cracked. No illegal stickers, nothing obstructing my view. My mirrors are clean, clear, not cracked. There's nothing obstructing my view, and they're adjusted to me. So now I'm going to do my wipers and washers. My wipers are fully functional. The wiper blades are not loose, torn, cracked, or missing. They're securely mounted. The washer fluid is fully charged. It's being evenly applied, and it's not leaving streaks. So now I'm going to do the parking brake. I explained to the examiner that I need to test the parking brake to see that it holds. To do that, I'm going to put it into drive and just tap the gas pedal. Parking brake holds. Now I'll put it back in neutral. Now I'm going to do the service brake or the brake pedal right here. To do that, I'm going to put it in drive, release the parking brake. Please note, do not touch this trailer brake at all. You don't need to. You don't have a trailer. So now I'm just going to pull forward here a little bit. Service brake works, doesn't pull on either side. So I'll put it back in neutral. Now I'm going to just kind of press and keep my foot right here. I'm not going to move this foot at all. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do my air brake check. My air brake check has 3 parts to it. Air loss, low air alarm, emergency brake. I'm starting out with the air loss test. So then what I do, once the truck is in neutral like this, 1 click down, 2 clicks down, and then 1 click up and 1 more click up. All the warning lights come on. All my push rods pop out on my truck here. And I read off my gauges. I'll say my gauges are 110 PSI. I should not lose 3 PSI in 1 minute. So then I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to time myself for 1 full minute. So you'll take your phone, which is, you've kind of like enabled the airplane mode so you don't get distracted by anybody. Once that 1 full minute is up, you'll say it's been 1 full minute now. My gauges are still at 110 PSI. I did not lose 3 PSI in 1 minute. Now I'm going to do the low air alarm check. I should both hear and see the low air alarms between 80 and 60 PSI. And I point to all that stuff. So then I pump the brakes here. I both hear and see the low air alarm. Next up, I'm going to do my emergency brake check. My parking brake or the emergency brake will engage between 40 and 20 PSI. My emergency brake engaged somewhere around 30 PSI. I'm going to start this truck up and test it. I drive. Emergency brake holds. Now I'm going to resupply my tanks back up to a safe level. Both these needles should be above 90 PSI. So I'll rev up the motor to about 2,000 RPMs right here. And then I'm going to review my list to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because if I were doing this correctly, I would have read something off, and then as soon as I talked about it, said my 2, 3 to 4 things about it, scratch it off and move on. So then I'd be kind of like doing this as I'm doing the outside here. But let's say I did all that, and I realized that I might have missed something, like say, like, you know, like when I did the front of the vehicle and I missed the spring mounts. I might circle the spring mounts, like right here, and said, oh, you know what, I forgot these spring mounts. I'm going to resupply my tanks back up to a safe level. And when I got a minute, I'm going to go out and address them. So let's wait for this other needle to climb up. It takes about 30 seconds or so for these to kind of climb up. But like I said, just leave it running. You got to push the gas pedal and keep it right at 2 there. You don't want to go much faster than that because you're just wasting fuel and it's hard on the motor. And you don't save any time. But if you don't idle up on it, these will take forever to get there, about 5 minutes or so, and you'll run out of time. So then once this yellow needle's at 90, I'll say that my air tanks are both back up to a safe level. They're at 90 and climbing. I've reviewed the outside here. I didn't miss anything. My pre-trip's complete. However, if I did miss something like that spring mount, this is the time I would go out and address it, and then say my pre-trip's complete after I've addressed it. So now test number 1 is done. So cancel.